In the meantime, we are talking with political analyst John Dadian this morning about some of the rising political stars of 2013. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Nice to have you again. And this is interesting because 2013, there's a lot of changes happening on multiple levels of government, federal, state, and local. But let's talk about the federal level because there's going to be some changes within, the Attorney General's office, the Secretary of State's office, things like that. But who do you consider to be the rising stars on the federal level of government?
Well, clearly nowadays we have constant campaigning. There's no longer a campaign cycle. So really the rising stars are the ones who are going to be running for president 4 years from now. Yeah. And on top of that list has to be Chris Christie. He angered some Republicans by being what some people saw as too nice to President Obama. But I thought he was doing his job. I mean, there was a disaster to the state. He has to work with the federal government. Clearly Marco Rubio is going to give him a run for his money as far as running for president. And the good thing about the Republicans, there's a good farm team, so there's a bunch of others.
When you look at Chris Christie and how he kind of embraced President Obama, do you look at that as almost strategic? I know he's doing his job as governor, but when you look down the road, there's only 4 years left if Obama gets elected, but there's possibly 8 years left if Mitt Romney had gotten elected, which would have put him about that much further.
You bet. Well, absolutely. It's a little strategic. And again, the rising stars I put on the federal were the Republicans. The reason I didn't name any Democrats is because the two obvious ones are already stars, and that's Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton. Probably both are going to go. Some people say that both won't go for the nomination. I think they will.
Real quickly, take a look at Marco Rubio. His next 4 years, what do they look like for him?
Well, again, rising star in the Senate, young guy, good looking, great background story as far as, his parents were immigrants, and all that. So he's just going to be pushing ahead. He's kind of, the Tea Party people love him. So if he keeps them in check, but again, you run for president, you got to go to a wider audience.
When you look at the state of California, there's some familiar names. Gavin Newsom's been around a long time. Kamala Harris, of course, she's well known. She's probably going to advance in her political career. Then you also look at Antonio Villaraigosa, the mayor of Los Angeles. Let's look at him real quickly. What does his political future look like?
Well, he's already running for governor. I mean, realistically, de facto, that's what's going on. And so are those other two, although they're keeping their options open. Again, when you talk about rising stars, there's a bunch of different avenues that they can take. But Antonio, again, mayor of one of the largest cities in the country, clearly Democrats have a good farm team statewide.
He has endured and he has survived some scandals in his mayoralship in Los Angeles.
Quite a few, probably only second to Bill Clinton. They do have that in common.
Kamala Harris, you're projecting she's either going to run for governor or possibly even step into Attorney General Eric Holder's shoes.
Again, she has a couple different paths she can take. Keep in mind, those three that I've named running for governor, what they're looking at is we don't know yet if Governor Brown's going to run for a second term. So what they have to do is be ready for 6 years from now. But if it happens in 2 years from now, they need to be ready. Yeah. So that's really the path they're taking. Kamala is being under consideration either for Attorney General or any high spot at the federal level.
And as you mentioned, it's a constant campaign mode for all these different people. I want to talk to you when you come back about the local candidates here. Todd Gloria, Dave Roberts, and Jack Dale. Should be an interesting conversation.
Very good.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Okay.